Hello, and this is Amanda from Lavinia World, and today we're going to be doing a Heat Emboss Resist technique and using that to create a one-layer card. So I'm going to first start by ink blending on my card panel, and I'm going to lay down the colors that I wish that my background would show through the heat embossed technique, if that makes any sense. I kind of phrased that weird. Anyway, so I'm starting off with cracked pistachio and distress ink. And you can use either the inks or the oxides. I prefer using the inks because I like the bright, vibrant colors, but you can use either for this. So I'm going to start off blending cracked pistachio, and then I will move on to Lucky Clover. There it is. And I'm just going to ink blend some of that on there. And then once I get done with the Lucky Clover, I will move back to the cracked pistachio and blend between those two colors to get a smooth blend in between those two colors. And that's just how I like to ink blend. And I will continue on through my colors that way, blending the new color on and then going back to the previous color, and then blend the new color on and go back to the previous color, until I get a smooth blend between all the colors. Here I'm going back to the cracked pistachio, and then I'm going to move on to Peacock Feathers. I'm going to switch my paper around here. Well, first wipe off my mat, and then I'm going to blend the Peacock Feathers. And I did switch my paper around just because it's easier for me to blend this direction. So I'm going to blend on the Peacock Feathers, and then like I said, I'm going to go back to that Lucky Clover and get a smooth blend in between the Lucky Clover and the Peacock Feathers. So these are the colors that are going to show through my Heat Emboss Resist. And you do want to be mindful of the colors that you are choosing, because especially if you're using the distress inks, because they are transparent, so you don't want to choose colors that are going to make mud, because we're going to be blending colors over the top of these colors. So if you choose colors that do not play nice together, they will make mud. I'm going to be choosing colors all in the cool color family, so I will be okay. So now we've moved on to Wilted Violet. I'm going to blend on the Wilted Violet, and then I will be blending between the Wilted Violet and the Peacock Feathers and get a smooth blend in between those two colors. All right, just finishing up here. Just going to spray some water on my panel just to activate those inks, get some variation of color with those ink splatters or water splatters. Mine. And then we're going to do some stamping. So I have put the Christmas Night and the Christmas Eve stamp from Lavinia Stamps on my Tim Holtz stamp platform, and I'm just bending the Christmas Night stamp so it's got a curved look to it, and it looks like Santa is flying through the air over the Christmas tree that is being decorated by the fairies. I'm just getting the proper placement. Now I'm adding some snowflakes from the snowflakes stamp set, I guess. It's got 2 single snowflakes and a stamp that's got 3 snowflakes grouped together, which is the one I'm adding right there. I'm just placing those around the stamps that I've already got on the platform. And then I'm going to be adding some anti-static powder to my panel here, because we will be doing some heat embossing, because like I said, this is a heat emboss resist technique that we are doing today. Then I will be grabbing some Versamark after I get the panel all powdered up here, and we will be adding the Versamark to the stamps. All right, get it nice and inked up here. You do want to make sure that you get a lot of ink on these stamps, because we're stamping quite a few at once here. So you want to get some good coverage of the stamps and then apply quite a bit of pressure here I do have a dry eraser here to get help put some even pressure on the platform door. So that's what's in my hand right there. All right, so now you can't really see anything, but I could see a shiny sheen on the panel. I keep forgetting the word today. Words are not my friend, obviously, today. And then I'm just going to move some of the snowflakes around here and fill in the panel a little bit more. The single snowflake that I put down up towards the bluish purple area was a little too close to that reindeer's head, so it does turn out a little funny there. I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention. But since I am stamping in a clear ink, I can see it, but it's I don't know. It is what it is. It ended up a little funny looking, but it's not too bad. All right, and then I'm going to add Ranger Clear embossing powder to this panel, and then we will heat set that off screen. All right, give it a good flick, and then we'll heat set that. All right, so now I'm going to ink blend over the top of the colors that we already have there, because now we want the images that we heat embossed to show through, and the clear embossing powder is going to resist the ink that I'm now adding over the top. So I started with Blueprint Sketch here, and this is where I said that we're going to need to pay attention to the color theory. You don't want to, like, say, add red over the top of this purple, because that is going to make mud. So I am now adding chipped sapphire over the top of these colors. And the blues are going to play nice with the greens and the purples and that I have going on now. So we're just going to keep adding the chipped sapphire and the Blueprint Sketch over the top. I do add another second coat because the greens and the purples do kind of show through at this point. So I will keep adding color until I am happy and get the coverage that I wish to have. Some of it will show through a little bit because these inks are transparent. Like I said, dye inks are transparent. You could go over this with oxides if you didn't want any of that color underneath the show through, except obviously what you have embossed, because that's going to trap the color and it's going to show through no matter what. But so you could do that if you wish, but I chose to use all distress inks for this. I don't mind a little bit of transparency. I think it adds a little bit of interest. So while I finish up here, then we're going to take a tea towel and we will wipe off my glass mat first, and then we're going to wipe off the embossing so that shows through nicely and doesn't have the blue ink over the top of it. So as you can see, our images are starting to clear up. And then I'm going to attach my card panel here to a piece of holographic cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. And I chose to do this with score tape because my panel was pretty warped from all the ink and the water and stuff that we had added, plus the heat embossing. So when I do score tape, I do just release the paper from the corners here. That way I'm only dealing with the sticky corners and not all the edges being sticky. That way if I mess up my placement, like you'll see me do right here, I'm only dealing with a tiny bit of stick that I have to remove from the panel instead of all of it being sticky and possibly ruining my panels. Another tip there, as you could see that my score tape stuck to the holographic paper and came unstuck from my my cardstock panel there. Usually I will stick that, go over that with a bone folder before I remove the liners, and I forgot to do that, so that's why that happened. So you might want to go over it with a bone folder or your finger or something and make sure that that's properly adhered. So I did have this tiny little piece here of the holographic paper when I cut down my panel. So often if I throw that kind of little scrap in my scrap bin, it'll sit there forever and I don't use it. So often I like to add those little tiny scraps like this inside my cards. It's a way just to use it and save it from either going in the garbage or sitting in my scrap bin for years and me never using them. So it's a nice little bit inside, adds a little bit of decoration, a little bit of color to the inside, and takes up a little bit of space because I'm often not a woman of many words. So it just takes up a little bit of space and not so white on the inside and make it so daunting for me to all that white space on the inside. All right, so that finishes up our card for today. I hope that you enjoyed the project. Don't forget that these supplies that are found in the Lavinia World store are linked in the description box below. If you're watching this on the Lavinia World channel, my social media links are linked in the description box below. If you're watching this on my channel, the links to all the Lavinia World store and the Facebook group and all that are linked in the description box below. And as always, have a great day.